Welcome to the official Munzee podcast.
I'm Rob, also known as Coach V, your host and the president of Munzee.
And I'm Craig, also known as See My Shell. I'm an avid Munzee player and I'm here to explore the game further.
Each week, we'll delve into Munzee's mysteries, divulge some secrets, and inform players from around the world just what is coming your way.
So sit back and relax. As today's episode, we talk about, Rob, we had a big weekend. We also talk about some few things coming up. Only small things, but more about the leaderboards, the weekend. It was huge. Rob, how are you going, mate? You're up nice and early, I see. I woke you up, did I?
You might have surprised me with an extra early start time today. So, yeah.
I did.
But you know what? I kind of expect it now, so I was ready. Once my eyes were open, I was ready. And we did have like a super exciting weekend. It was so much fun. Lots and lots of millionaires in Minnesota. Who knew?
I know, but not just in Minnesota, mate. They were worldwide, these millionaires.
Yeah.
I looked at a few of them. There was a few in Canada as well, which is really, really cool too to see. So, mate, you're now back in Florida, are you? Yeah.
I am. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Cool.
What about you?
Mate, technically right now I'm recording this. Where am I? Oh, South Dakota.
Oh, all right.
So the last couple of days I've traveled through North Dakota, all the way across North Dakota. It wasn't as scenic as what I'd hoped it to be, but anyway, it was very flat and very straight and very farmlandish, but it was nice enough. Got a few Munzees as I go through. Not as many as Minnesota, of course, but It's the Dakotas, Rob, they're very sparse when it comes to Munzee, just saying.
Yeah.
And then head down into South Dakota. I stayed at a beautiful free campsite last night in South Dakota. Absolutely gorgeous place. So there's state number 47 and 48 for me, mate. There you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Impressive. Yeah.
And the funny thing is people think, Craig, you've got Alaska and Hawaii to go. No, I don't. I've actually got the very northeast, so Maine and New Hampshire to go.
That's so it. And you kind of live over in that corner, so that's like a weekend trip, right?
Yeah, well, a long way. Probably a week trip. I'm going to take it a week trip, maybe one day. We'll see, mate. We'll see.
That's cool.
What about yourself, mate? Apart from Munzee Media, what else have you been up to?
Really just getting back into the swing of things because sometimes when I go to events, I kind of get out of the work mode, the Munzee work mode, because I'm playing the whole time, specifically blasting. So getting back in and we had a really good gameplay meeting. That's what we have every week. Coming up with hey, what sort of crazy things can we do and what should we do and what's possible and what changes. So we're going to talk about a couple of those here in a few minutes. But really, we've come up with some fun stuff for birthday month. We already had big plans and we came up with something else. So,
wow!
I'm excited. Can't tell you today, but excited about it anyway.
You do this, Rob. You tease me. Before anyone else, and then anyway, I won't leak anything. I'm a good boy. You know that.
Yes.
All right, mate. The week that was the events from last weekend, we had obviously the 4 events in Minneapolis. We had some in Massachusetts, New York, and around the world.
Denmark, Netherlands, England. We had one in Quebec, Canada, and then 2 in Ontario and another in British Columbia.
Wow, look at Canada go ahead. Look at that steaming ahead. Well done, Canada.
Yeah.
The Millionaires. Now, Rob, we always say, we said before, we shout out the Millionaires. This isn't just a weekend, Rob. No, because Munzee now said double points on cards and greenies for the Wednesday and Thursday as well for everyone. So guess what? We've got Wednesday Millionaires. That's right. And Thursday Millionaires. Wednesday Millionaires is Tofu Girl with 2.4 million and Vadotech with 2.2 million. Maybe they were going around in a car together, Rob, possibly. But anyway.
They must have been. They rolled into town Tuesday evening. I talked to them and made it into Minnesota Tuesday evening and decided that Wednesday would be their day to attack the leaderboard. Good plan.
Exactly. I'm going to announce the Thursday Millionaire as well because he's a really, really nice guy, super nice guy, and it is the one and only Munzee Prof with 1.5 million points. Well done to Munzee Prof. And Rob, do you know what Munzee Prof actually means? What's the prof in Munzee Prof?
Professor, like he knows it all?
No,
What?
everyone thinks it's Professor, but it's actually Prophet. There you go. Prophet.
Last name.
Yeah, there you go. So but
I should have known
the
better.
profits for Munzee, he did on Thursday with 1.5 million points. Well done, mate. And Friday, Rob?
Well, let's see. On Friday, we had quite a few, so stick around. Here we go. Coal Cracker 7 with 3.6 million. Q22 Q16, 3.3 million. Eagle Dad and Xenia, 2.3 million. Whelan, 2.2 million. Demec, 2.2 million. Vedotech, 1.8. Javo 43, 1.7. Daniel 41101, 1.6. You, sir, see my show, 1.6 million. Tofu Girl, 1.5. Loesch Family, who was one of the hosts, 1.1 million. Marley Fan CT, 1.1 million. And finally, rounding out the millionaires, Monrose, 1 million.
Rob, I'm going to have to correct you. It's Q22, Q17, not 16.
Oh, there you go. Oh, the number on our deal says 16. Uh-oh. Bad notes.
That's all right. That's all right. All right. Saturday, we had even more. We had, Rob, I think this is the first time ever he had 25 millionaires in one day, plus a brand new world record. Yes, that's right, world record. And Rob, we're going to need to discuss this guy straight after this as well. So, firstly, the new world record. Congratulations to I Am Full. I Am Full with 7,185,123 points, 7.185.
Wow.
Rob, that is huge, absolutely huge. Meanwhile, we had Danielle 41101 with 3 million. Q22, Q17 on 3 million. Losh Family 2.5. K for K-Man, Canadian on 2 million. Whelan, W Helen on 1.9. See My Show 1.7. Doolans 1.6. Eagle Dad and Xenia 1.5. Jeffo 43 1.5. Munzee Prof 1.4. TJ Jacks 1.4. Buffet 1.4. Monrose 1.3. The Geocaching Vlogger GCV on 1.3. Demtech 1.2. Cap Jack's Crew 1.2. Rez 2100 1.2. Marley Fancy T on 1.2. Paper Clips 29 1.1. Pinlight 21. Pinlight 1.1. Mars 00 XJ 1.1. AP 719, brand new, my new referral, just saying 1 million. There you go. She got her very first 1 million. Woo. Dragons West 1 million, and Stealth Edge on 1 million points. Rob, I didn't stumble too much. I was happy with that.
Yeah, that was good. I'm impressed.
Yes, yeah, I like it. I like it. Sunday, Rob?
Sunday, we have Monrose at 2.1 million, Dragons West 1.6, Litech 1.3, Q22, Q17 1.1, Geocaching Vlogger 1 million, and TJax 1 million.
Rob, let's go back now to I Am Full. Give us some info on I Am Full. This guy, so just for everyone's information, I hadn't met this guy, hadn't seen this guy, haven't heard of this guy itself. On the Friday event, Rob, he came up to me as we're doing the rounds and he said to me, excuse me, do you know what cake is? So he didn't even know what the cake was. And so I explained to him about what cake is, how you can get it at events, and how it's in the Redeem store. He said, oh, thank you very much. And he kept on going and capping around. No idea I was talking to a future world record holder, just saying. What's the history with I Am Full, mate?
He's a quiet guy. So I'm not surprised that he kind of, slipped up to you and said that. Same thing. I saw him Friday night. I talked to him for a little bit. I saw him Saturday morning once or twice, just to, hey, how you doing? Type thing. Haven't seen him for a couple of years, and he's actually a former number one player as far as day record, and he'd taken some time off from the game. I didn't actually ask him what made you stop or what made you come back. I didn't ask him those two questions. Probably would have been helpful information. But yeah, he told me that he was back, one, and two, that it had been a while, and back whenever we had the mega blasts, I don't know if you even had remember. So we made a transfer back then of 1 mega blast, 5 blasts. He had quite a few, and we converted those mega blasts into blasts. He had quite a few, and he just decided, you know what? This this weekend feels like a good time to use all of those. So he used, well, let's go with quite a few. He hadn't been to that area, and he literally had a blast. We were out to dinner and we were watching, and he made it past 5 million, and it was like, wow, he made it past 5 million, and then 6, and then 7. So that was cool. He had just fallen off the bottom of Carson's top 25 points a days ever. He had just fallen off the bottom of that list. So what better time to make a return than to go from 26 all the way up to number 1 again. So well done, Dan. His name is Dan. I am full. Welcome back to the game. Please don't go away for 2 more years. All right, stick around.
No, you're making it interesting for all the other players. I mean, you think about all the other players out there, the competitive ones as well. Like, I won't mention names, but I had one person come up to me and say, well, Craig, if you add up all my weekend scores, they add up more than that. So there you go. There are competitive people out there, which is good. It's a good thing. This is what this game encourages. So, I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. All right, Rob, current events coming up this weekend. In USA, we have 2 in Missouri, 1 in Alabama, New York, Massachusetts, Texas, and Florida. Rob, you're in Florida?
Yeah, guess what? Okay, so what? I was looking at the calendar Monday, getting ready for this, and I was like, there's I use the app now because that's pretty handy, I used a little filter, and it just said, like, nearest, and there was one, like, 4.8 miles away. What? That's crazy. So then click on, like, soonest, and it's like 3rd in the list, and I went, wait a second. So I looked, and sure enough, it is literally around the corner. So I was just like, well, when I cap things, people kind of know where I am, and this is a weekend off. So what's a weekend off? Let's go ahead and go to a Munzee event. So I'm going to go hang out with some of the people that I just saw up in Minnesota. Going to hang out with them again. So with
the travelers. You'll see some travelers in Florida. Very, very cool.
Indeed.
Around the world, Rob, we have Canada, Hungary, Australia. We've got 3. ACT and Victoria have 2. So that's really awesome as well. And don't forget the large events come out, Rob.
Yes, those large events. Like I said, we have used the app now because there's a filter in the list so that we can find the most attendees. And these 2 events are the ones that are sitting at the top. We've got Flagstaff, Arizona, which is coming up next weekend, May 24th through 26th. There are 28 people on the list so far. And, that's going to be the ones that are attached to the big Geo Woodstock events. And so we're going to have a lot of like-minded people who should become coexisters. Then in the UK, we've got the midsummer events. These are the ones that are at the top of the most attended or most attendees list. We've got 41 so far. Those are June 14th to 16th. It's going to be down on the south coast of England, so come and join.
Nice area. Is that, Rob? Down the south coast of England?
It is. It's called the New Forest. I was reading a little bit about it on a post that Herbie put out. He's the main host, and just saying, like, this is the time of year to come and visit this area, and obviously there are going to be lots and lots of points. He basically, was saying, like, let's show the world that, we can have 4 mega events over the course of a weekend as well. So there you go. That's
just like Minnesota did. Just like Minnesota, all 4 of Minnesota's went mega, which is awesome to see. And we will talk more about Minnesota at the end of this episode too, Rob, I dare say, because we've got to talk about the new people that just showed up. There's a couple of those as well, which is awesome. All right, Rob, the developments from this current week that we had. Firstly, the biggest thing I saw, and I'll be honest, it doesn't affect me because it didn't worry me in the first place, but it does affect some people out there, and that is the new Cappy change. So you obviously listened to all the players, and you thought, well, okay, how can we do this to make sort of more people happy? And now you can actually toggle him on or off without even playing him. You can toggle Cappy off, Rob.
Yes, that is correct. You can do that. We wanted Cappy to make everyone happy. And for some people to be happy, they don't want to see Cappy. Hey, All right.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of things that people may want to choose to be able to do. So we've put this together as sort of a, one of those customization types of things where everyone has an option if they want to have Cappy on their home screen or not. So that is in the settings. And if you turn Cappy off from the settings, there is only an on-off button. That's it. If you turn him off, then you can go to your profile, and the very top button now is Camp Hub. So no, there is no like turn him off only for this and it's 17, and then you do that and then that. No. It is either you can see Cappy or you cannot see Cappy, and
that's right.
That's why we made the button on the profile, the top button, so that you don't have to do too much. You tap your face basically, and then the top button, Camp Hub. That way you can get there. But you have to remember on your own if you take him off off the map.
Exactly. You it's all you. Then it's all you. Exactly. Rob, some people would say that you took the R out of Cappy. Just saying. Anyway, we're moving on.
Took me a second.
I know. I saw it in your face. Some people out there will get that straight away, but only a few. Rob, a double Mech event. They started on Monday and they ran through to Thursday. So right now, when people listen to this episode, they're finished. The actual double Mechs are finished. But what does double Mechs entail? What did it actually entail?
So this time, the double Mechs is a double deploy event. We've done something similar a time or two now. So for every mech that you go to deploy, it's going to put 2 out there instead of just the 1. And that's purchases through the store, but it's also using the redeem tool. By the time everyone listens to this, it's too late. You missed it. So it ended on Thursday.
But I did see, Rob, that now that everyone's now deployed all their mechs this weekend, we've got double points on mechs for mailbox owners. How cool. It's like you guys knew what you were doing, just saying.
It's like there was a plan sometime toward the end of last month for what this whole month would look like. Isn't that weird?
It is. Yes. It is. Now, Rob, I did see as well in the water cooler about 5 or 6 days ago. Now, people were complaining that those scrap stars weren't filling up. We mentioned this last month, guys. Exactly the same thing has happened as it did last month, and that is no one actually deployed any mechs at the beginning of the month, but everyone deployed their scrap stars. So if there's not that many mechs to get on scrap stars, then you're not going to get your scrap stars filled. Oh, I had to magnetize, and that shouldn't happen. There's scrap stars, and they're putting an R in the scrap stars now, which shouldn't happen either. So just let people know. Hold back your scrap stars until something like this weekend happens, or this week actually happens, when everyone is now deploying their mechs and they're getting double for their mechs. They're getting 2 for the price of 1. And so now the map is flooded with mechs, and this is what it's supposed to be like. Again, Rob, I said it before. I'm one of these. I didn't actually put out a scrap star, but I'm one of the players that try and get to level 5 in the first week, so I can relax. I'm one of those players. But when it comes to the mechs and breaking mechs component of the of the clan wars, relax a little bit until mid month because you don't need it until mid month anyway. So, as I said before, Rob, the team, you guys have been doing this for years now. You kind of know what you're doing, and you have plans. So not everyone is really excited in 1 week out of the month and then bored for the next 3. See, so there you go. Is that right?
I mean, sometimes we close our eyes and throw a dart at a board and see where it lands. But yes, more often than not, now later in our time running Munzee, that is true. We do have an overall plan. Yeah.
Rob, I can see this at your Munzee meetings, etc., that you are the only one with your eyes closed throwing a dart at the dartboard. Meanwhile, someone like Dylan, for instance, has got one eye open. Like he's always, you know what I mean? He knows what he's doing. Dylan knows what he is doing.
There's some aim there in trying to direct it. Yes, you are correct. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, mate. What's the June double points weekends have been announced as well?
Yeah. So we're going big. We are going big, and we did some testing of some upgrades, I suppose, more upgrades, and just kind of server and load testing specifically in Minnesota, and things went well. and spend some time chatting through all of that stuff. And so we've decided that we are ready to try something bigger than we have done in a really, really, really long time. And that is double points on everything.
What?
Everything.
Everything.
For June 14th through the 16th. That is the one and only double point weekend, and it's everything.
So, Rob, does that mean deploying?
That means deploying.
That means capping. That means mechs. It means POIs. It means virtuals. It means cards. It means everything.
You missed cap-ons, but yes, it means that as well.
I thought I said cap-ons. Capping's cap-ons.
Capping, cap-on, deploys,
deploying.
And it means every single type. Even the socials. 0 times 2, 0. Still double. Yeah.
So here you go. Here's your notice, and that is everyone out there. If you're thinking about a little trip away somewhere, June 14 to 16, to include Hampshire, UK, just saying that's going to be huge now. It's going to be bigger than what it was originally. So if you're thinking about a trip to the UK, maybe June 14 to 16 should be considered. Rob? What do you think?
I mean, you're not crazy with that kind of thinking, you know. It's supposed to be a really nice time in England, so
yeah,
maybe so.
Maybe everything. Rob, what else about the birthday events have been announced as well? What's happening with birthday events?
Yeah, birthday events. We're excited every year. You know, July is Munzee's birthday. This is going to be 13. I mean, in case you can't tell, we're becoming a teenager. And so it's time for us to prep and to get all the word out. This year, we're talking about things with cake, and we had the flower power events back in May, right? Yeah. So we've kind of gone with that sort of theme. So instead of it being like a teenage celebration, instead we've leaned into the cake and all of that. So this is Baker's Dozen.
Oh,
yeah. I figure people probably wouldn't have seen that one coming unless they think about the fact that we've had the birthday, or sorry, the events early in the year in February, and then in May, and now July, all cake themed. So yeah, that's what's going on. Baker's Dozen year for us, and then we're looking to have celebrations for the month of July. We've got some special stuff that we're going to be doing. We actually haven't announced absolutely everything that's happening with the events, because the announcement that we've put out, it's for the hosts. It's kind of to pique the interest of every player, but it's mostly for the host.
And so think about this as well, and that is, if you're in an area that, or you haven't been to an event, and you nowhere near an event location, for instance, and there are people like that. I know people in my clan, for instance, they don't have an event anywhere near them. The closest event, Rob, I'm going to say is going to be a good 13-hour drive away. Ooh. That's what I mean. Yeah. That's their closest event. So now would be the time to reach out to Lou and say, look, how can I host an event? It can be an event for a small event for 3, 4, 5 people. It makes a difference. Birthday events sound really, really awesome. And, big things can come of it. And as I said before, at the end of this episode, we're going to talk more about what happens at events as well. Rob, meanwhile, we're going to move on to the question of the week. This question of the week was from Barlow, and he said, is there a reason, Rob, that the map that in the Munzee app map can't be set to orientation? In other words, it follows your direction as you move, other than always north being up. Can that be a toggle to be switched on and off? By the way, he said, I love the podcast. So just saying.
Oh, well, good. At least he said something.
He butters us up after the end.
Just kidding. This isn't mean or anything.
No.
We've only got 2 settings on the map, you know. There is the hold down the trigger, the center button, hold that one down, it turns red, it follows your dot. And then there is, whichever way is up is up.
North.
And that's
North
it.
Is up.
Yeah. So is there a way to spin it or any of that kind of stuff? No, there's not. Just use your fingers, and that's the only way to do it. So that's all we've got for now. Don't expect anything to change on that during this calendar year. Would be my advice to everyone. Sorry.
I mean, I know some people out there, and I'll say this as well. My referral, she's one of them, and it pains me, Rob, because maybe it's I don't know, maybe it's a left brain, right brain thing. I don't know, but I can follow a map no matter which direction I'm going. So if I'm going down on the map itself, I know my left and right is the opposite to what it is now. If I'm going up, my left and right is the correct way. I can gauge that, but some people can't, and that's fine. And obviously, this is the type of thing that people need if they can't gauge that sort of left and right turns, especially if they're driving, for instance, etc. from there. You know, as I said before, my referral, it kills me. She uses 2 fingers and spins the map around. I'm like, what are you doing spinning it around? She's like, I need to see which direction is which. I'm like, but I'm so dizzy sometimes by watching her spin this map around. But anyway, that's her. I can't say too much more, I'll get in trouble. All right, Rob. The Munzee request of the week is back. This request of the week, Rob, I had a guy come up to me. I'm not going to say who it was. He came up to me at the Munzee events there in Minnesota, and he said to me, Craig, you're a player first. And I said, yes, I am. And he said, do you hold Rob accountable? I said, yes, I do. Tell me more. Tell me more. He reminded me. So over a month ago, what was now, you and I spoke about the Cubbermalls. Now, we had a question of the week come in about the Cubbermalls as to why they're not all available to redeem. There's only a handful, but just over half to redeem. And he said to me, Rob said he would do it, Craig, and he hasn't done it. I went, what? He hasn't done something? That's unlike Rob, surely not. He showed me, but it gets better, Rob, because he showed me on Cuppa Z. Yes, Cuppa Z. So, Rob, Sam actually threw you under the bus head first, because on Cuppa Z, what a great app that is, they're actually segregated in redeemable and unredeemable Cubbermalls. So they're segregated between the two. So he said, he said, why can't we more? Why can't Rob do this? Why can't Rob? We promised it, and he hasn't come available yet. What's happening with the Cubbermalls, Rob? Tell us. Did you just forget?
It sounds like I need to check with Sam and make sure that his app isn't broken or doesn't get broken. Maybe that's what it should be. No, good old Sam. He's always building fun things in the background that show people things I don't do properly. That's. I would like to say that the word promised sounds a bit interesting. I don't usually go like, yep, I promise I'll do that, because I know that I tend to forget things, especially if I just say it and I don't have it written down somewhere. So here's what I would say. Maybe, and this has got the word maybe attached, so that's the good news. I'll have this done by the time this episode is live on Friday, because that gives me today, tomorrow, to get it done.
Get it done. Yeah,
scary, but yes, the answer is I forgot. Sorry about that.
Rob, I did listen back. I did listen back to the episode, and you didn't say the word promise. I'll give you that. You didn't say promise, but you said I'll have it done by the end of the week.
Ooh, so I've already said this before. Yikes. Yes. It did feel like a record when I was saying it. It did feel like that. Yeah.
Oh, dear. See, I love it. People come up to me, do you hold Rob accountable? I go, yes, I do. Tell me more. Tell me more.
Yes.
All right, Rob, we're going to go moving on now to the Munzee tip of the week. This one is very, very close to both of our hearts. And this is all come about, the tip of the week, all come about from the weekend in Minnesota. Now, Rob, you and I became honorary members, we'll say, of a clan. So the clan itself, I'm going to pitch this name. The clan is called the Everyday Player Society. That's their clan. Their clan members includes CMC Williams, Geocaching Vlogger, Gravity Bear, Banana Force, Mecha MN, M Sergeant USMC, Jerome Hasenberg. They're the actual members themselves. Did I forget one?
Nope.
No,
definitely not.
No, definitely not.
Oh, wait.
Oh, hang on.
There might be one guy. It's you know who it is? It's Gravity Bear's older brother.
Older, taller brother. Yeah.
Remember that guy?
That's right. Yeah, that's
all right.
That's right.
So, yes, they were a really cool clan. And I know that I really had a great time hanging out with them. I'd never even met couple of them, which was kind of fun. So, we talked with them. Well, I sat and talked with them at the event on Friday, and then they were nice enough that they invited both of us out to their after party. Who knew that Plans had such a thing?
I know.
So it was really cool. You can tell everyone what we got to do.
All right, we went to a brewery, like Rob and our favorite places to go. So of course we said yes. We were in when they said brewery. I said you had me at hello. We were at the brewery and we were drinking beers. There was some Munzee chat there, but it was a general chat as well, which is what I really liked, Rob. It wasn't all about our game, and what we love. It's about ourselves now. And so the tip of the week is about the socializing within Munzee, socializing with your clan if you possibly can. But Rob, it even gets better because one of them brought out sodas, non-alcoholic, which I was a bit disappointed with, but they were non-alcoholic sodas, 6 of them in general. They were weird flavors. She had them taped across the front so you couldn't see what the flavors were. We all had shot glasses, so they kind of felt alcoholic. And then we all had to write down what we thought the name was. And the person who got the most correct, they gave away 500 Zeds, Rob. So how cool is that? And have a guess who won, Rob? Have a guess who
won. Well, it's not my fault that I couldn't tell which bacon or pickle or they were some crazy flavors.
Toothpaste.
Yeah. There were a couple of really, really weird ones. I did all right. I got, I think, just more than half because there were, 6 or something like that, or maybe more. But I can tell you it wasn't me that was the winner. Was it you?
No, it was me. And yet, Rob, you call yourself a beer reviewer, like your taste buds should be on point. But no, it was me. And it was someone else as well. I can't think of the other person, but they ended up giving away 500 Zeds to each of us. Yeah. So, how cool is that? So that's really cool. Really cool. So again, guys, this tip is to be social within Munzee. Hang out with your clanmates if you can, and even if you can't, hang out with your clanmates in a group chat somewhere on other social media means, and share ideas and share thoughts and share photos and videos and whatnot as well. Be social. This game is all about being social. Oh, Rob.
Yeah,
I remember his name now. He's a guy that we've mentioned a couple of times before on this podcast, and Rob, he keeps a tally of the amount of times we mention his name on this podcast.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, did you want to say his name just to keep him happy?
Okay, Minnesota boy, but only because we're going to see him in next week.
We are. There you go. Minnesota boy. Made it up for you, mate. Great YouTube channel, by the way. Go check his out. So, Rob, this ends another official Munzee podcast.
Thanks for joining us on this Munzee adventure.
Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcasting app. And, of course, join us next week for another informative episode.
And remember, Munzee is more than a game. It's a worldwide community of mobile game players.
So keep scanning, keep discovering, and keep that Munzee spirit alive. Rob, 1, 2, 3.
Munzee on.
Munzee on.
Munzee on.